Writing process. The writing process is like a Bible of medical writing. It has to follow if you want a well-written piece. The body cannot stand upright without the bony skeleton. Likewise, these 4 steps are essential to writing. You don't follow it, and the write-up falls flat. These 4 steps are simple to follow and easy to integrate into your writing style. Learn in object ways. At the end of this module, you will be able to understand the 4 steps in medical writing, describe the pre-writing strategies, explain drafting, explain revising, explain refining. The 4 steps in writing process. Every writer follows some or the other process to make his or her writing complete, effective and error-free. Any writing has 4 basic steps. 1. Pre-writing. 2. Drafting. 3. Revising. 4. Refining. Pre-writing. Pre-writing is a preparation that one must do before starting to write. Pre-writing should be strictly done on paper and not on your computer devices. Pre-writing is a way of organizing one's thoughts and beginning to put the information on a piece of paper. Writers use various pre-writing strategies based on the topic and the outcome needed. Drafting. Drafting involves converting pre-writing raw material into coherent sentences and paragraph. It is advisable to have a separate writing area and creative, productive conditions suiting your comforts such as pleasant music, well-lighted room, and uninterrupted time, free from disturbance. Have the pre-writing material at hand but be open to new ideas focusing on core objective of your writing. Revising. Revision means to double-check and look at something from a fresh perspective. At this stage, the writer should think from reader's point of view and evaluate if the outcome would meet the reader's expectations. Refining. The refining stage involves editing and proofreading. It also involves the implementation of changes highlighted in the revision stage. Give attention to detail and do changes line by line. Advantages of the writing process. Following a writing process ensures that the output has a professional standard. The following are the advantages of the writing process. 1. No important information is missed during the writing. 2. All the specific requirements are adhered to. 3. The content is error-free in terms of grammar and mechanics of writing. 4. The content is tailored to the audience and made reader-centric. 5. The information is well structured and logically placed. 6. The content is scannable and readable. Pre-writing is a preparation that one must do before starting to write. This section will help you to understand and practice various pre-writing strategies which can be used for organizing your thoughts better and put information on your writing pad. Before you start pre-writing, ask the following questions to get started. What is the purpose of my writing? Who is the audience? How much does my audience know about the topic? What should my audience perceive after reading? What action do I want the reader to take? What are the needs, wants, the query of my audience? What I have to do to get desired results? What all information I require? Where can I find the information necessary? What tone of writing should I use? When and where should I complete or send a given writing piece? On the top right-hand side, click the tab Resources to view the samples of different pre-writings. Using Journalist 5 What's and H, who, what, where, when, why, how, you can explore your topic in detail and develop effective, powerful information quickly. Example: suppose you are working on a topic, Screening for diabetic retinopathy. You may use journalist question to develop useful information such as who should be screened? Should the newly diagnosed also be screened? What is diabetic retinopathy screening? What are the prerequisites? What is the basic problem? What are the issues in screening of diabetic retinopathy? Where this screening takes place? Are those places accessible? When should be the screening done? What should be the frequency? What are the issues with frequency of screening? Why is the regular screening so important? How should the screening be done? How does it affect the diabetics? How can the issue or problem be resolved? Outlines. It is a hierarchical way to exhibit all related items of text to show their relationships. Outlines provide a brief summary in a logical flow and generally used for writing research papers and reports. E.g. This could be possible outline for a topic on magnetic resonance imaging. History of MRI. Getting an MRI. MRI prescription for different scans of various body parts. Brain and head. Spine. Neck. Breast. Cardiac. Musculoskeletal. Shoulder. Knee. Abdomen. Pelvis. MRI safe in pregnancy. MRI magnetic resonance angiography. Open MRI. Disadvantages of MRI. Mobile MRI. MRI versus CT scan. Free writing. It is an informal style of writing activity that allows a writer to write freely without bothering for grammar, punctuation, and other constraints. It is unstructured in form, style, content, and purpose. Free writing technique is quite helpful when you feel that you can't think of anything to write about. Set a time limit for free writing. Take 5 or 10 minutes for this exercise and write non-stop. Resist the temptation to stop and judge or edit your content. Finally, review what you have written in your paper. Look for the words you like, the ideas that might fit your writing. Idea mapping. It is a technique used by writers to create mind maps that organize thoughts structurally. This is a method of reorganizing and rearranging the important ideas and information from your reading of textbook and converting it into a diagram with your own words to help you understand and remember what you read. The image shows the usage of idea mapping technique for writing an article on diabetes care. Zoom image. Following tabs will list various other idea maps which can be used by you for pre-writing. Charts, matrices, spiders/stars diagram, tree structure, Venn diagrams. Idea mapping charts. Matrices. Charts, matrices can be used by you to compare and distinguish qualities, features, characteristics, examples, descriptions, and facts. Idea mapping spiders. Stars diagram. Spiders diagram, also known as stars, helps to show themes, examples, descriptions, and definitions related to main idea. Example: suppose you are writing a book on management of diabetes mellitus, you may use spider diagram for your pre-writing. Management of diabetes mellitus, main idea, diagnosis, diet prescription, exercise, oral hypoglycemic agents, insulin therapy, complications, pregnancy and diabetes, surgery and diabetes, supporting idea. Methods, criteria for diagnosis, I, G, T, I, F, G, results etc. Details for diagnosis, supporting idea, hypoglycemia, diabetes ketoacidosis, DKA, neuropathy, foot problems, diabetic kidney diseases, Eye care, macrovascular disease, details for complication, supporting idea. Idea mapping, tree structure. Tree structure mapping could be used to show categories, classifications, analysis, structures, descriptions, or examples. Example: you may use tree structure mapping pre-writing technique to write an article on tools for diabetes management. Venn diagrams helps you to show relationships between diagrams, points of overlap, and points of distinction. Venn diagrams are used for comparing things that are similar. Example: often symptoms of flu, cold and allergy leads to confusion because of common symptoms. Using Venn diagram you can show common signs or symptoms of colds, allergies or flu, influenza. Note: common symptoms are highlighted in red. Drafting. In drafting you to connect with your ideas, focusing on explaining and supporting your thoughts completely. Here are helpful tips to help you draft your content better. Understand the basic structure of any write-up. 1. Topic, heading. 2. Introduction, opening. 3. Body. 4. Closing. Topic, heading. The heading carries 90% weightage in any article. Based on the heading, the readers decide whether they want to read it further or not. Keep the heading informative, brief, attention-grabbing, and engaging. Do not use cute or general heading, such as prevention is better than cure. Opening. Introduction. The opening or introduction should carry the most important information. The opening should be directly related to the heading. The opening should generate enough interest for the reader to get hooked up to the write-up. Body. The body of the article carries the main content. The content should be segregated under subheading and into small readable paragraphs. The body should have clear transition from the opening to the closing. Closing. The closing should be clear and smooth. The closing should always be positive. An article can be closed with a summary, conclusion, key points, take-home messages, suggestions or recommendations. Revision is the key to effective documents. While revising, ask yourself the following questions. Have the ideas been adequately supported to convince the readers? Does any specific term require more explanation for making it more understandable? Is your content organized in logical flow? Is the organization of content simple to complex and known to unknown? Here are some tips to revise your content and improve its quality. For effective revision, let the draft sit, sleep for a while. It means you take a break and do any other activity, so that you look at the draft with fresh perspective. You may also print a hard copy of the draft and read it casually. It is recommended to read the draft aloud in order to determine the problem in content and tone of the draft. Get input from others. Get feedback. It's not what you write, it's what other perceives. Don't do any changes while revising. You may use following symbols to highlight necessary changes which should be done in the next stage of writing. To cut or delete any content, use square brackets, to clarify or expand on any ideas, underline to condense or remove unnecessary explanation, use curved brackets or parentheses, or curly brackets. Editing is Refining is the final step in the writing process, and should be done only when all the other steps are finished. Editing and proofreading are important parts of this step. Editing is the activity of taking a deeper look at how information and ideas are presented. The focus is on making changes that make an article easier to understand, better organized, and more suitable for the audience. When editing, you must rewrite sentences and paragraphs for flow. Make the text clearer and more understandable. Use their specialized knowledge to clarify and improve text. Proofreading is the activity of correcting superficial errors in spelling, grammar, syntax, punctuation, and formatting. Proofreading is a highly developed skill that requires extensive knowledge of the English language and the ability to concentrate for long periods of time. When proofreading, you must go beyond spell check to catch errors a computer might miss. Ensure zero grammatical errors, usually after a document has already been edited. In this module, you have learned the 4 steps in medical writing: the pre-writing strategies, drafting, revising, refining,